0.0311. So we are going to find the head diameter. So kay ba man nga si head loss B, remember again, head loss B is equal to head loss C. So that is equal to 1.942. So meaning, na kay QC, ang imong unknown is the diameter. So 1.942 is equal to imong Q nga nakuha, which is 0.0311. Nakuha nga og length. The length is 190. So this is 190. So 0.2785, C nga 120, then D nga unknown to the 2.63 all to the 1.85. Okay, so one equation in terms of diameter sa C. Times 0.0311 785 times 120 times D. So again, you can use the formula in the book for the Hazen-Williams. So the diameter at C Okay, so it took time. Pila yung diameter? Nakakalkula mo? So,
Solve.
more or less 18, 0.18 mm, meters rather, or that is 180 mm, more or less. So that is for diameter at C. So question regarding this one. Nasabtan ra? Basta tanan eh.
Yes, sir.
So ang kinuhang gibuhat, formulate the equations. Then pangitaon ang mga values kung unsay pwede magamit. So for example kani, usa ra may unknown, HB raman, so makuha mong HB. So kani. Okay, so this one for the third. The system of pipe connection is shown as follows. So assuming C is equal to 120 for all parts and assume that the rate of flow for each network is kani. So calculate the head loss of system A, calculate the discharge of line 2 of system B, and what is the system, which of the system has the greater capacity. When we talk about capacity, okay, let's have that. So that is the lowest head loss. So, okay, so number one sa ta. So we are going to find the total head loss of system A. So total head loss ani is head loss 1 plus head loss 2 plus head loss 3 is equal to head loss total. So na makaigihatag maka 0.085 meter cube per second. So kay bawta nga kani equal ra siya kay Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q3 in series, di ba? Series man siya. So ang mahitabo ani inyo nang i-add so na kay so 2750 times Q nga 0.085 0.2785 C D to the 2.63 to the 1.85 plus 1830 0.085 over 0.2785 times 120 times 0.3 to the 2.63 to the 1.85 then plus 1830 times 0.085 over 0.2785 times 120 times 0.25 to the 2.63 to the 1.85. So, ito na. A 85.275 C 120 D to the 2.63 to the 1.85. So 2750.4. So that is equal to 3.763 plus 1830.3 10.15 152 plus 24.65. So head loss total 37.63 plus 3.763 plus 10.152 plus 24.652 is equal to 38.567 meters. So that is for letter A. Question. So kay bawra ta ato ra gigamit ang principle sa pipe in series nga kay bawta nga ang head loss ana is imo ra i-add and kay bawta nga Q1 is equal to Q2 and Q3. So meaning that the capacity in pipe A is equal to 0.085. So calculate the discharge of line 2 kani of system B. So kana. So sa B, kibawta nga si head loss 1 plus head loss 2 plus head loss 4 is equal to head loss total, or head loss 1 plus head loss 3 plus head loss 4 is equal to head loss total, because head loss 2 is equal to head loss 3. And in terms of discharge, Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3 is equal to Q4. So mana atong mga equations na ma-formulate. Okay, so ang gipangutana dire is determine the head loss 2. Calculate the discharge of line 2 of the system. Okay, so discharge die. So we are asked to determine the discharge. So first we are going to have this in head loss 2 and head loss 3. So we have that in terms of head loss 2 and head loss 3. So what is head loss 2? 1520 times Q2 over 0.2785, C nga 120, D nga 0.2 to the 2.63 to the 1.85 is equal to 2130 times Q3 over 0.2785, C nga 120, D nga 0.25 to the 2.63 to the 1.85. So kana. So kani sa atos ang i-equate sila, gi-substitute ang value, then we can have Q2 in terms of Q3. So ato na ning kwaon ning makuan sana mga constant. So this will become Q2 to the 1.85 is equal to Q3 to the 1.85. Ana, so ato sang solvon. 1520 so this will become 5797.89. Okay, so that is equal to 2743.41. Okay, kana. So we can have this Q3 to the 1.85. So 5797.89 divided by 2743.41. So 2.11 3 Q2 to the 1.85 kana. Okay, so once na naka na equation, so we can substitute it here. So Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. So kay ba man ta nga si Q1 is equal to 0.085. Okay, so Q1 is equal to 0.085. So 0.085 is equal to Q2 plus Q3. Okay, so so ato sa ni sidyang sige pangita ni Q2. Okay, so we have this as the 1.85 root of kani. Okay, around Q3 na siya. Okay. So, ingana. So, siya na po mga 0.85. 28. Okay. So, Q3, ato na substitute dire. So, makuha na to ang Q2 ra. So, 0.085. Then, Q2 plus, ato sa nang i-simplify, the end truth, 1.85 from 2. So 1.5 Q2. So that means that Q2 is equal to 0.085 divided by 2.5. So that is 0.034. I think mo nagipangita. Calculate the discharge of line 2. Okay. So unsa tong gibuhat kinaunhan? Gi-equate sa naho si headless 2 ug si headless 3. So kani headless 2 in terms of Q2 and headless 3 in terms of Q3. Next, gikuha ang mga constant media, gi-equate sila, then in terms of Q3, then gi-substitute na yung value ngari nga equation. Kaya namatay Q1 nga 0.085, so 0.085 is equal to Q2 plus Q3, where Q3 is kani nga value, kani. So kani 1.5 Q2, mao ni siya. So since Q3 is equal to 1.5 Q2, so malagi substitute dire, so nakuha ta nga Q2 is equal to 0.034. Okay, question sa letter B. Number 2, calculate the distance of the line 2. Okay, so after ana, kuhaon sa nimo ang head loss ani kay magamit nato sa C kani which of the system has the greater capacity. The lower the head loss is, the greater the capacity. So ang head loss sa 1 nakuha na nato nga 38.567. So head loss sa 2 atong makuha ani kay nanamtaan ni ato i-substitute ani. Okay? So makuha na to head loss 1. Okay. Okay, so headless 1 plus headless 2 plus headless 3 is equal to headless total. So na naman tayo kaning Q2, we can use this one. Kani. We can use this formula. So headless 1, ilan na? 3,350. So 3,350 times 0.085 C D nga 450 kana. Then plus head loss 2. So makuha na po na ito si head loss 2 gamit ni. So 1,520 times 0.034 over 0.2785 times 120 times diameter na 200 mm. So 0.2 to the 2.63 to the 1.85. Then plus sa last kani 760 plus times 0.085 over 0.2785 C D nga 250 to the 2.63 to the 1.85. So this is equal to head loss total. So head loss total ani is equal to 24.7 meters. So which is lower ani. So this is 38.567. So karon ato na pong kuhaon ng head loss ani. So the lowest head loss nila is the higher nga capacity. So equation ani nga ma-formulate puno na. Okay, so ang equation nga ma-formulate nimo ani is Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q3 is equal to Q5 kana, or Q1 is equal to Q2 plus Q4 equals Q5, and head loss 2 is equal to head loss 3 plus head loss 4. Okay, so head loss 1 is equal. It should be head loss 1 plus head loss 2 plus head loss 5 is equal to the total head loss. So kana. So okay. Kani. So atong kinahanglan buhaton ani is kuhaon na to ang head loss ani mo kuha. Di man nato makuha pa ang kuhaon na tong discharge ani. So kuhaon na to ang discharge ani. So we use this one. Head loss 2 1,800 times Q2 over 0.2785, C nga 120, D nga 0.3 to the 2.63 to the 1.85 kani is equal to head loss 3 plus head loss 4. So that is 1,800 times Q3 over 0.2785 times 120 times 0.25 to the 2.63 to the 1.85 plus 1,400 times Q4 over 0.2785 times 120 times 0.25. Same na sila. Okay. Same na din sila value. We can assume that head loss 3 and head loss 4 because they have the same pipe. So ang letra may nakalahi nila. So more or less same ra din sila na kani. Okay, kay same ra Q. Okay, so kani. Okay, makuha mo po na to nga Q3 is equal to Q4. Okay, from this series. Okay, so nalaka yan eh. Pwede na nato mag Q4 ni. Sidya, ay Q3. Q3 na rin nato tanan. So, makuha mo sidya in terms of Q3. So, tayo na on dira Q2. Ang technique ani para madali is you have to use alpha in your calculator, alpha Q. You just copy the equations. So, A so this will become 954 to the 1.85 pa ni. Okay, so 1,800.2 3,200. So this is 4121.55 to the 1.85, or it could be, kaya nga rin na ito mo substitute. Okay, so this is Q3. We can have this as Q3. So 954 divided by 4121.55. Then the truth. So 0.453 Q2. Okay, kana na kaya ni Q2 is equal to Q3 na 0.453. So mo na to substitute dire. So kay ba man ta nga si Q1 is Q1 kani nga equation na itong gamiton. So Q1 is 0.085 is equal to Q2 plus 0.453 Q2. Okay, so ako nag-substitute ang value ni Q kani ngare. So mao na ni. Okay, so mahitabo 0.085 divided by 1.453. So Q2 is equal to 0.0585, okay, meter cube per second. So kana na kay Q2, once nga makuha nimo ang Q2, pwede na nato kuha ng head loss sa 2. So ato lang sa susod dire. Ito na po ng ilihok eh. Okay. So kani nga equation atong gamiton kani, so head loss 1 is 2,400 times 0.085 over C 0.2785 C D nga 400 2.63 to the 1.85 is equal to Q2 head loss 2. So head loss 2 is kani, which is 954 954 dili ni equals di ay, so plus ni. So 954 Q2 to the 1.85 kanya akong gigamit. Then plus head loss 5 nga 1,600 times 0.085 over 0.2785, 120, and D nga 0.3. To the 2.63 to the 1.85. Okay, kana. So, mo na itong head loss total. So, 2,400 times 0.085, 0.2785, 120 times 0.4 to the 2.63 to the 1.85. So, this is 3.283 plus 954 times Q2 nga 0.0585 to the 1.85. So this is 4.99, okay, 5 plus 1,600 times 0.085, so 0.2785 times 120 times 0.3 to the 2.63 to the 1.85. So this is 8.88. So 3.283 plus 5 plus 8.88. So 17.163 meters. Therefore, system C has the highest capacity. Question? Okay, so next is kani. Nanay solution dire no kabutang. Okay, so nana ang mga kuan. Nana dire ang mga equations nga kailangan na to. So kay bawta nga the flow from A to E is 280 liters. So that is 0.28 meter cube per second. And we are going to use N, which is 0.011. So these are the equations. So we are going to first find the discharge of line 4. So where is line 4? This one. So makuha nila to ang discharge pinagi sa mga head loss ani. So kay bawa man ta nga si head loss 4 is equal to head loss 2 plus head loss 3, and head loss 2 is equal to head loss 5. Kani. Okay, so ang sakto ko 10 head loss is equal to 10.29 n squared L q squared over d to the 16 over 3. Okay, so mo na imong head loss na equation. So ang buhaton is in terms of mga head loss at head loss 2 plus head loss 3. So head loss 4 is equal to 10.29 times n squared L to the q squared over 0.3 to the 16 over 3. So equate nato na siya sa 10.29 times 0.011 squared times 360 square q sub 2 squared over d nga 0.25 to the 16 over 3 plus kani, so 10.29 times 0.011 squared times 360 Okay, so same na po sila. So 0.25 Q3 squared over 0.25 to the 16 over 3. Kana. And we have to use this one, kaning equation, first. So, okay, see, you have Q2 plus Q5 is equal to Q3. So, ato na magamit. Ato sa pong kuhaon ang head loss 5 ug head loss 2. So, head loss okay, so head loss 2 okay, so ano? Okay, so kani head loss 2 ug head loss 5 na punta. So kanina pod kani head loss 2 ug head loss 5. So head loss 2 again is 10.29 times 0.11 squared times 360 q squared over 0.25 to the 16 over 3 is equal to 10.29 times 0.11 squared times ang kani which is 600 ug 200 mm. So 600 times q sub 5 siguro. Ito, q sub 5 squared. So this is 5 over 200 mm. So 0.2 to the 16 over 3. So mo gyapon Q2 equate na to sa Q5. So ang Q5 nga value. So kani i-divide nimo ani. So 10.29 times 0.11 ba to or 0.11? 0.11 lagi. So kung 0. Okay. Okay na. So 10.29 times 0.011 squared times 360 over 0.25 to the 16 over 3. That is 728.6 squared. Then 10.29 times 0.011 squared times 600 over 0.2 to the 16 over 3. This is 3922. .01. Okay, so kana. So 728.6 divided by 3992.01. So we take the square root. So this is 0.427 Q2 is equal to Q5. So mo na to i-substitute dire. Kani. So Q2 plus Q5 is equal to Q3. So Q2 since kani man, so Q2 plus Q5 is equal to Q3. So kani, so that is Q2 plus 0.427 Q5 Q2 is equal to Q3. So Q3 is equal to 1.427 Q2. So we are going to use that because Q4 plus Q3 is equal to Q6. Q4 plus Q3 is equal to Q6. Kani. Kana. So Q4 plus Q3 is equal to Q6. Kibaut ang Q3. This is in terms of Q2. Okay. So kana. So ato sa ni substitute. Substitute na ni nato siya. So pwede ato sang kanon ba? I-simplify. 29.011 squared times A times 1 over B to the 16 over 3. Calc 1400.3. So this will become 1071.55 Q to the 4 squared is equal to 728.6 plus 607.17. Okay, so this is Q2 squared then Q3 squared. Okay, so kay bao man ta nga si Q2 is ingani. So we can have this as Q2 is equal to 0.7 Q3. So mo na to i-substitute dire. So i-substitute na to si Q2 dire para makuha na ito ni in terms of Q3 o Q4. So if we rewrite that here 1071.55 Q4 squared is equal to 728.6 Q sub 2 squared plus 607.17. Q3 squared. Okay, ato na i-substitute nga re. So mahimo ni siyang 1071.55 Q4 squared is equal to 728.6 times 0.7 Q2 squared Q3 rather. Okay, so atong solve. Okay, so Q3 squared plus 607.17 Q3 squared. Okay, so mahimo na 0.78. Dili 0.78, 0.7 na dahil. Okay, so mahimo na nga 728.6 times 0.7 squared. So 357.014 Q3 squared plus 607.17 Q3 squared. So i-add na nimo 607.17 kani silang duha. So 1071.55 Q4 squared 964.184 Q3 squared. So i-divide ni sila, dapat mahimo ni sila in terms of Q3. So 1071.55 divided by 964.184. Then we take out the square root. So this is 1.05 Q2 Q4. Okay. So Q4. So mo na itong i-substitute diri nga equation. So kay bawta nga si Q3 so Q4 plus 1.05 Q4 is equal to Q6, or that is 2.05 Q4 is equal to Q6. So kay ba mata pili value ni Q6 is 280 liters per second. So this is 0.28, so 2.05 Q4. So 0.28 divided by 2.05. So makuha na to nga si Q4 is equal to 0.1366 meter cube per second, or 136.6 liters per second. So kana. So discharge 4 pa na siya. So we are asked to determine the discharge at 5. So makuha naman nato ang discharge 3 ug discharge 2 pod. So nanatay discharge 4 kani. So i-substitute po na nato dire para makuha nato si discharge 3. So Q3 is equal to 1.05 Q4. So that is 0.1336 times 1.05. So Q3 is equal to 0.1434 meter cube per second. So na kay Q3, na kay Q4. So makuha po nimo ang Q2. So Q2 is equal to 0.7 of Q3. So 0.7 sa Q3, so 0.1 siya. So na kay Q2, Q3, so makuha na nato ang Q5. Okay, Q5 may gipangita. Okay, so kani Q4, Q2, Q5. So kay bawta nga si Q1 is equal to Q4 plus Q2 plus Q5. So 0.28 is equal to Q4 nga 0.1366, Q2 nga 0.1. So makuha na to si Q5, which is equal to 0.0434, or that is 43 liters per second. So lastly, we are going to find the total head loss. So the equation for the total head loss is kani head loss 1 plus head loss 4 plus head loss 6. Ana? Pinaka mubo nga direction, head loss 1 plus head loss 4 plus head loss 6 is equal to the total head loss. So head loss 1, okay, so that is 10.29, 0.011 squared times head loss 1 nga 1 is 300 og 450. Okay, so 300 times 0.28 squared over 8 kuan balik. Okay, so di ni mga 0.4 5 to the 16 over 3, then plus head loss 4 nga 10.29 times 0.011 squared, head loss 4 nga 1,400 times d, q sa head loss 4, q is 0.1366, 1.366 squared over 0.3 to the 16 over 3 plus kani, so 10.29 times 0.011 squared times 600 times 0.28 squared over 0.45 to the 16 over 3. So that is your head loss total, which is equal to, so again, kapihon na nimo 10.29 times 0.011 squared times L times Q squared over D to the 16 over 3. So 300.28.45. So head loss 1 is equal to 2.07 plus head loss 2 nga 1,400.1366. Okay. 0.3. So 19.99. Then plus 600.28.45. 4.14. So i-add na tanan, 4.14 plus 19.99 plus 2.07. So that is 26.2 meters. Okay. So this is your head loss total. Kani, compute the head loss total. So kuha na to ng discharge, nakuha na to tanan. Okay. So that is for this problem. Okay, kani nga problem. A question na to nga problem. Clarifications. Please, if you have questions, kindly ask. Kay remember sa final exam na to nga oral recitation, problem solving na ba itong oral recitation? So you have to solve that directly. So taganag 1 minute to solve or 2 minutes, depende sa katas-on. Question regarding this one? Nasabtan ra? Kung makasabot, pwede naman ninyo balikon ang video. Naka-record man daw si Ivy. Okay, so kaninga question, kaninga problem. So naka-formulate na ta sa kuan ganina. So here, find the equivalent length of pipe A to B with diameter 30 centimeters. So meaning, kaning imo mga lain-lain nga mga diameters, iusa na sila tanan. Next nga buhaton is find the rate of flow from A to B and find the velocity at line CD. Asa man si C ug si D? A, B, ato yun niya, C ug si D. Sige na. So we are going to find the velocity here. So first at buhaton, find the equivalent length of pipe A to B with diameter 30 centimeters. So instead of line-line yung mga diameter, usahon na nimo sila. So first, naano kay head loss? 10 meters. So head loss total na mga 10 meters. So ato sang kuhaon ang sa may itong kaon. Mga head loss sa tagsa-tagsa. So okay, so kay bawo man ta nga si head loss 1 plus head loss 2 plus head loss 3 is equal to 10 meters. So we can use that pagkuha sa discharge. So murag first nga makuha na to is ang discharge siguro. How are we going to find the equivalent length? Okay, we first find the discharge. Doesn't matter. So head loss 1, that is 0.0826 F L Q squared. Usara ni ka Q kay series raman siya over D to the 5th centimeters man. Then plus head loss 2, 0.0826, 0.021. Okay, atong postbon. So 0.0826 times 0.021 times 150 times Q squared over 0.2 to the 5th plus 0.0826 times 0.02 times 250 times Q squared over 0.25 to the 5th is equal to 10. So one equation in terms of Q, nakuha na to si Q. So ang buhaton na rin, kaya di naman sila makalkyo ato sa sidyang i-simplify. Kitaas naman siya. So first, 0.02, 300.3. So that is 2. Okay, di man lagi di nang pasigo sa calculus, so ato na text saon. 203.95. Okay, so Q squared plus 813.09 Q squared plus 422.912 Q squared is equal to 10. So i-add tanan. So 203.95 plus 813.09 plus 422.912. So that will become 1439.952 Q squared is equal to 10. So makuha na itong Q. So 10 divided by answer square root 0.083. Okay, kana. So how are we going to find the equivalent part? Nanakay total head loss. So it will become like this. So nakay total head loss nga 10 meters. Head loss total. Nakay discharge nga 0.083. So ang buhaton ninyo, head loss total 10 is equal to 0.0826 F L nga unknown Q kuha nga ni 0 na po. Okay, so 0.083 squared over D nga 0.3 to the fifth. Okay, mo magipunta na dire, di ba? In terms of 30 centimeters, so we are going to use the F nga max kasagaran. So kasagaran is 0.02. Okay, so so kani. So L ang atong pangitaon. So 10 is equal to 0.0826 times L nga unknown times 0.083 squared times 0.02 0.3 to the fifth. So kibali imo na siyang i-equate tanan gamit ning kaning 30 cm nga pipe. So kibali ang kani 0.02 may gamit, so 0.02 ato gamiton 30 centimeters. So instead of using multiple lengths, ang ato nang gamiton is usara pero ang ijang length is kani. So 2135. Instead of using 150 meters, 250 meters, and 300 meters, so we are going to use only one. 0.083. Okay, 0.083, 0.02, 0.0826. Okay, kani. So 0.0826 x. Okay. So instead of using multiple, so kanila atong gamiton. Then for the discharge, for the velocity, kay ba man ta nga Q is equal to area times velocity, mao ra man jud ang formula. So kay ba man ta nga ang discharge ani is equal to discharge ani is equal to discharge ani. So we are going to use 0.083. Saan naman na? Nagduduha nga 0.8. 0.83 times pi over 4 times 0.2 squared times velocity. So makuha nimo ang velocity ana nga section. 0.083 times 4 divided by 5 divided by 0.2 squared. So velocity is 2.64 meter per second. So kana. Okay. So diha sa naman ta karon, next meeting we will talk about branching pipes. So kani branching pipes naman eh. So okay. Questions? Mag-check og attendance sa kaning 35 ka buok kay mauray nagpabilin. Okay. Wala mo pumunta na? Napa na istugonon?
Sir,
Riego, napa?
sir, mo send pa ka sa kanang file, sir?
Sa?
Kining imong gi-report on, sir. Ay imong gi-kuan, sir. Listen, sir.
Basig di na kay marag di naman manungha ang kasagaran. Demetrio,
Present, sir.
Calapre. Junel Pia. Amigo. Daraga.
Sir, present.
Akala.
Present,
Okay.
sir.
Ako nang screenshot laman. Kaya ako lang yung check niya. Kadali ha. Kaya murag basig na manungha na. Daghang ka magalit. Hindi ka makabalita eh. Okay na. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.